what's going on YouTube? If you're new to the platform, I want to welcome you. Welcome to our tribe. At the end of this video, hope you're going to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me to reach 7,000 subscribers at the end of this month by simply subscribing to the channel, turn on that bell notification, and let's engage on the comments so they can recommend this video to more people there, and it will be good for us. Thank you again, and let's continue with the video.
Because when you notice black women going for white men, they don't take all them weaves with them. They don't take all them lashes with them. They don't take all that makeup with them. They don't take that obesity with them. They don't do none of all of that deep voice, haughty, I'm gonna get in your face, cuss you out, boy, you better. They don't bring none of that to Zaddy. None of it. Because they know that Zaddy don't accept that. And he's not gonna accept them with it. They're gonna have to act like women if they want Zaddy to pay them any attention at all. And they're gonna have to be the best kind of women to get the lowest white man. They're gonna have to be the best quality of women to get the lowest quality of white men.
So for that being said, black women have no respect to black men. What a shame. And who told these black women that your biggest enemy is the black man? Because it's rare to find a black woman talking good about black men. It's rare. It's always negativity, bro. Like, black men are like this, black men are like that. But when you look, black men are doing good outside their race, and they're winning a lot, bro. Like, they are doing good for real, but for black women, it's different, So they understand, actually, they have attitude, they're noisy, they have no respect to a man, and they have everything men don't want. That's why when they go outside there, they do change, and like be what a woman should be. So, but why they don't do that to black men, bro? Like, it's confusing for it, because it's a good thing to see black women and black men are getting along. It's a good thing to see, bro, and I love it.
On the day my divorce was final, I'll never forget what my ex said to me. He looked me right in the eyes and he said, "You're going to regret this. You're going to get 6 months down the road and you're going to regret divorcing me." And you know what? He's right. I did have regrets.
Hey, it's Jenna. Recently divorced and kind of figuring out this new way of life. I was married for 23 years and with that person for 3 years prior. So for a total of 26 years of my life, I have been out of the game of dating, making friends, going out, and stuff like that as a single woman in her 40s. Yeah, I'm 47. So I've raised children. My children are adult children now, and it's kind of interesting because it's so lonely at this stage in life after divorce, especially with older children, because you make all your friends when they're younger, or at least I did. I met my friends mostly through my kids' activities. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I took them to practices. I went to school.
So let's analyze the second woman. She's 47 years old, divorced. She's a mom, and she's been married for 23 years and getting a divorce, right? Plus 3 years in a relationship, so a total of 26 years. So at the time they were dating, if a baby was born there, until now, that baby could have kids already. That's a lot of time, bro. Like, it's a lot, So for her right now, trying to go back to a dating scene and finding a man, like, what type of men are they looking? Because let's be real, most men, they're going into marriages because they want family, but they want kids, first of all, because if you tell them to go in a marriage for just providing, and get nothing there, no kids, no anything, so it's just them to pour in resources, they will never do that. Because if it's just for smashing, they can get access to sex anytime because they have money, right? So why like going in a marriage and signing that contract and understanding you get nothing and you can lose half of what you have anytime? So no man will take that risk. Now she's 47 years old, bro. It's over. It's done, bro. Like, they have to understand this. If you get a man, it means till death. Like, do they understand that vow, what it means? Or they just sign because it's just words?
Last year, Jeff Bezos came into my restaurant and I had the opportunity to serve him, and he did not pay the bill. In fact, I was told that Jeff doesn't get the bill and that the bill will be delivered to his 2 security guards that sat at the bar and watched him eat. To which, of nobody's surprise, they left a 20% tip, which I'm always grateful for. You know, any tip is better than no tip. But it made me sick that man could hand every single person in that restaurant $60 million, and the next 27 generations of his family would still be able to not lift a pretty little finger and be able to survive. He was actually very nice and addressed me by my first name and was very respectful, remembered my name the whole time, and even Lauren was very sweet. But it just blew my mind that they rid themselves of the responsibility of knowing what the bill was, because then that way they kind of bypass me as a server being able to say, oh, well, Jeff didn't tip me, his security did. Like, and no tea, no shade, nice doesn't pay the bills. You know, I'm not ever expecting somebody to give more or anything at all. You know, it's truly, I feel grateful when people tip. My service was good. But for them to speak so highly to me, of me, Jeff and Lauren told me my smile was contagious. Like, they were very nice, which made it harder for me to kind of accept, like, you didn't even look at the bill and you rid yourself of that responsibility. And again, like, that compliment, unfortunately, doesn't get to be split between the 47 people that are working right now. And you could have really changed some lives in there, and it would have meant nothing to you. You wouldn't have even noticed the difference in your bank account. And yet you tipped the same amount that a hard-working person would if they liked their service on a regular Tuesday. Like, So yeah, just with everything I'm seeing, the millions of dollars that they're spending on this wedding and just the showboat that it is, it's quite pathetic that you couldn't even tip your server a little over 20%. Like, no joke. And I'm not saying that from an entitled place, but one time Steve Carell came into my restaurant, his bill was $400 and he left a $1,000 tip. Like, just because he has it and he understands the working class, you know? But it makes me quite sad for Bezos. And knowing he's a Capricorn as well kind of just solidifies the shadow of a Capricorn. And when they're not evolved, like, he is literally the richest man in the world and is still acting like the brokest one. Let that speak for itself. Even with this $50 million wedding, he's still acting like the brokest one. We've seen those wedding invites. And I'm just sharing my experience here because I really do think that people that have an unfathomable amount of money can really change the world and should change the world. You know, like, I have so many big visions of how I would help everyone and everything around me with that much money, and knowing he could but didn't was really disappointing. So I don't know. Please, Mr. Bezos, don't block me out of Prime. Unfortunately, I am a Prime user. Love what you've done there. Just don't really love everything else you're doing.
I'm gonna be frankly open here. She wanted to be seen, and it didn't happen, you know, because the way she was talking, you know, like putting that camera up and down, like, hey, he didn't want to see this, bro. For what? He just went there to enjoy his meal. He didn't come there for you, you know. Like, he just go there and do what brought him there. He didn't come there to know you or maybe to change your life. Yes, he can do that, but why do you think you deserve it? What did you do? You know, so it can change your life. So just to serve him, like, you know, the first way to just a waitress to serve him, no, and you will not be the last. You know, so man, these women, bro, understand they want your money, bro, for real. And this is the pure example, bro. Like, man, they want your money. She don't want Jeff Bezos, but she wants his money for real. You know, so how do you think you deserve $1 million tip? And if you're doing like that to everywhere you're going, then how many times will you do that? You will go broke. You know, so bro, these women, that's why if you reach a certain level of success, there are some things you have to cut them off. You know, like this, like, don't get married, and like, you have to be very good, you know, in like dealing with the women, because they don't want to, they want your money, you know, so you are not safe. At that time, I can say it's not a good thing to be broke, but you'll be safe at some point. But if you have money, it's worse. You know, to get from the bottom to the top, it takes a lot if you're a man. No one is feeling sorry for you, just doing it on your own. When you get there, and again, you're fighting new demons. Bro, it's crazy. These women, bro, it's ridiculous. So I think she just did her job. At the end of the month, she get paid, and then that's it. I don't see a point of her complaining. It's ridiculous.